Give me the pineapple.
Only if you know who lives.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
So, 1920s hit, there's fuck all about, there's no cocktails, there's really bad spirit on the market. So we're really like not sport for choice. A lot of their cocktails are like really simple. So we're gonna be making a really simple cocktail. We will be making the bee's knees.
Yeah, love it.
Bee's knees, really simple. What do you think has in it?
Bees.
Knees.
Yes.
Just get that.
So, you're right, yes, it does involve lemon and honey. Lemon. We will be adding a equal amount of lemon juice and honey. So I'll be looking for a single shot. Is it here? Honey.
I'm quite indifferent about honey.
I fucking love honey, alright? So we're gonna then
I
add
feel like we should love honey. We love honey too.
a double shot of gin.
Okay.
3 main ingredients, they follow the sweet sour spirit to a T. So, nice frosted shaker, then hand like so. We then grab the frosted glass, we grab our shakers, grab our strainers, and just pour in. That is the bee's knees.
No garnish.
No garnish.
Maybe like a little lemon peel.
Nothing.
That's
Not
very,
at all.
very, very prohibition, isn't it? Just like
These are free ingredients. These are ways to get you drunk. This is actually illegal. So if you're asking where your garnish is on your bag of gear, that's how simple it did get.
So did they drink much beer in that time?
yeah.
I don't know.
Was it just like quite like all kind of hard?
Like a lot of it back then was hard liquor. Like whiskey was like huge back then. A lot of the pictures that you see of like people like bathtub gin pouring, you know, that iconic picture of the bar that's being like ransacked and they're pouring liquor out the top and things like that.
I guess
I just wasn't sure if like there was much of like if it was because of the sheer volume of it kind of thing that you need to have. Obviously, them trying to be secretive and a bit more. Just wondering if there was maybe less of it.
Probably was. I could believe that. I
Yeah.
could see like there being like big on moonshine,
Yeah.
whiskey, gin, like again just using vodka. That kind of stuff I could see being a lot more prominent than like beer. Definitely.
yeah, very true.
Oh, now I can try some.
So that is it at its most simplest form.
I feel like I'm not gonna like this.
It was then pushed like a little bit further as you start going through the years a little bit. So then you had a drink called the Mary Pickford. So Mary Pickford was a little bit more robust, plays a little bit more with flavours that you would see from other places as well.
And what that was based off of the bee's knees.
No, so this was where you're starting to see a lot more confidence in like the bar industry. So they're not, bee's knees is literally these 3 main ingredients. By the end of it, you've got a prohibition cocktail that is named after the biggest silent film actress during that time, Mary Pickford, who later was a producer with Charlie Chaplin as well.
Well,
And they
yeah,
had their
'cause you also have the Charlie Chaplin cocktail, which kind of is
Plays-
plays on the Mary Pickford.
Hey,
Yeah.
good knowledge.
See? And they were co-producers of their first production company. Charlie Chaplin's first owned production company. He brought in Mary Pickford for that as well.
The thing with that cocktail is, and I guess for like a lot of gin cocktails, is that is just you just taste honey and sour. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's what cocktails were back then, was just masking the taste of really bad produced alcohol.
And I mean, give me a Saturday night. I'm not complaining about that. I'd
No.
still drink a fucking fair few of them.
Oh, 100, and I'd pay £15 for it.
Yeah, probably.
Do you know what's the funny thing that I was thinking about now that you say that? You know, it's like if you think about why we introduced perfumes in the world, you know, like back in the time when they started to like use perfume, it was not like to smell nice, it was because they smelled bad. And they had to smell good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
same
of course.
situation is here. You're like, bro, I need to get through it. What is
Yeah.
the best way and the cheapest way? So
And that's why people stopped.
100%.
That's why people stopped drinking whiskey so much, because you smelt so badly.
But-
so that was a
Your whiskey like comes out your sweat. doesn't
Yeah,
it?
so that was an advertisement for Smirnoff. If you have a look, I think it's like 1948. They have a thing where it says vodka will leave you breathless, What that was supposed to mean was where you couldn't smell it when you were driving, so people could drink and drive and drink vodka and it would leave you breathless. Whereas if you drank whiskey, you smell like a drunk old fart.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
That's quite mad.
I guess no breathalyzer or anything like that. Then.
No breathless.
What is a slow gin?
Slow gin is like a bit like a berry gin. Slow is like berries.
Oh,
really
it's like
sweet.
fermented
Really
in berries?
No, it's just a flavour of gin. Slow is spelled SLOE, and
Yeah.
berries that you get in the UK.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
right.
just distilled of it. So it's a lot sweeter, it's normally like less alcohol, it's more like a liqueur, you probably like drink it by itself or mix it with cocktails.
Nice.
You wouldn't really have a slow gin. Well, you can do, but not as popular.
Straight.
Straight is really
Yeah.
nice, yeah, really nice. Sipsmith have a really nice one. I've had their
Right.
slow gin, that's really nice.
Oh,
And
really?
people make their own slow gin a lot because they just grow, like slow berries grow like how your blackberries grow.
Just everywhere. Really
Everywhere,
easy to
and
grow.
then just grab some high percentage out of gin, add some slows to it, even though it's slow gin. It's really nice.
No, wait, that's quite good. Do you know what I seen earlier was what's gin made out of? Juniper berries.
Juniper.
Like you never see them really being used as like garnishes or mixing drinks, do you?
I think so. I think you're starting to now. When people do like a gin and tonic, you get like a few juniper berries, maybe like
Chucked
thrown
on
into
top.
there. Yeah, yeah,
That'd be a cool thing to experiment with.
yeah,
I have no idea what they taste like.
yeah. That'd be quite cool. Because that's the Dutch word for gin is Geneva, which is juniper. That's where it's all
Yeah.
from. It's all originally a Dutch drink. So it'd be quite cool to
Imagine-
dive into that.
Gin's
Yeah.
quite bitter, so I imagine the berries are quite bitter.
Maybe quite dry.
And then you've
Like
got like,
cranberries. I
Mm.
can imagine being like
but then you've got like Old Tom gin, don't you? You've got like
old Tom. Yeah, it's like American gin.
yeah, there's that. There's like London Dry, and there's like Geneva, whatever that is, which is like
Geneva, which is that Dutch word for juniper. So it's just Dutch gin.
but it's kind of different, isn't it?
It's exactly so how you'd have Scotch, Irish whiskey, rye, juniper. Geneva is like Dutch gin, so their version of gin. Like so how we
Right,
have London
yeah, yeah.
Dry, they have Geneva, which would be Dutch gin.
Right, yeah. Knowledge.
And that's 1920s cocktails, Roaring 20s.
The Roaring Twenties, and I think what's really exciting is one that I'm really excited about is the Roaring Twenties making a return.
Because we're in the Roaring 20s.
Because we're in the Roaring Twenties, we're off the back of we're coming out of a pandemic.
Prohibition, pretty much.
Yeah, everything's closed, hard to get drinks. There's not many parties going on. Once everyone's allowed out, the Roaring Twenties are coming back.
I think it's gonna go mad.
Yeah, I'm really,
I'd drink a few of these names.
I'm really excited.
Some might say that this cocktail is
Really good.